Hello, this is Jason Barron. The topic of this video is going to be what was the Inquisition? And like always, this video, like all my others, are not scripted, although sometimes I read from books. My commentary is not scripted. Well, so like I said, this is going to be about the Inquisition. I'm not going to read from this book today. It's called Characters of the Inquisition by William Thomas Walsh. It's pretty good. And it discusses the heresies that attempted to infect the church in the past and how the church dealt with it. And that's what I'm going to get into today. In particular, heretical clergy. Now, we have a heresy going on in the Roman Catholic Church today that's called modernism, which was explicitly condemned by Pope St. Pius X in 1910. But I'm not going to get into the details of that. What I'm going to get into the details of is how heretics attempt to mask their heresy even as they're destroying the church. For example, and I've not only observed this just like everybody else, but I have the insight into the book I just showed you as to how heretics operate. Um, they won't deny on the surface Catholic doctrine or the sacraments. For example, they'll say, yes, you should receive this sacrament. You should receive you should receive the sacraments. But like an inquisitor, when you question them as to what the sacrament means, they get vague. They get evasive. They might say, yes, of course I believe in baptism, and it um, washes away original sin. But then, like, if you say, like, what does that mean? Um, so you're saying that in order to get to heaven, you must wash away original sin, and then they'll, well, not necessarily. Well, what I'm saying is, you know, uh, blah 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 blah. And then they'll get real evasive. So basically, what they really want to say is that no, you don't need the sacrament. But basically, that's what they believe. In other words, if you press them on it, so they'll get evasive. But to not appear as heretics, they'll say, of course I believe in the sacrament and that you need to wash away original sin with the sacrament. And of course you need to, renew it with confirmation. But again, if you press them on their belief in confirmation, like for example, is it necessary to accept death before renouncing Jesus Christ, which is what the sacrament of confirmation teaches. It is that you must do this. You must be willing to accept death rather than to renounce Jesus Christ. They'll say, well, it's fluid, and Vatican II, and then again, they'll show that no, they do not believe in the sacrament of confirmation. They do not believe in its meaning. They don't. But again, without questioning, if you don't question them, if you don't push them, you wouldn't know that, because they'll just say, of course you should receive the sacrament of confirmation and renew your baptismal vows. Or certain other things. If you ask them, do you believe in the dogma extra ecclesia nulla salus? Outside the church, there is no salvation. Which means, yeah, what I just said. They'll say, well, 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 this fluid, Vatican II, and blah 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 blah, and what church are we talking about, and et cetera ad nauseum. Now, to be clear, I'm going to point out that traditionally the church, extra ecclesia nulla salus, does admit that it is possible for Protestants, who, because they're Christians, although heretical, can get to heaven because they believe in Jesus Christ, but it's much more difficult because they don't have the sacraments. They don't have the sacraments, but because they believe in Jesus Christ, it is possible for a Protestant to get into heaven. That is a traditional Catholic teaching, because they are Christians. But the church also traditionally taught that it's much more difficult for a Protestant to get into heaven because they don't have the benefit of the sacraments. They don't have the Eucharist. They don't have confession, and that stuff. But a modernist will have you believe that even a Muslim or a Jew or a pagan can get into heaven. But but again, the way they'll word it is, they'll fucking weasel around the question. So once again, if you ask modernists, do they believe extra ecclesia nulla salus? They'll weasel their way around the question, which means, once again, that no, they don't believe that. They don't believe in the dogma of outside the church there is no salvation. They'll just change meanings of the word church, and once again, I find this astounding, because this is the exact same evasive techniques that heretics in the Middle Ages used when questioned by inquisitors. It's just like if you asked them about the Vatican II religion, if you ask these modernist clergy, again, we're talking about clergy here, not about the unlearned laity. We're talking about the clergy. If you ask the clergy, is the Vatican II religion the same as the Catholic religion has always been? Oh, yeah, they'll say. Well, yeah. Again, we're talking about a surface question. And again, this is just how the heretics answered the inquisitors back in the Middle Ages. But if you push further, they'll start attacking the non-modernist beliefs, or the so-called pre-modernist beliefs. And again, that's an evasive technique that they use against questioning. So it's like, while you're trying to say, you try to get them back on track, but is it the same religion? And they'll say, well, yeah, it is, but it needed to change. And then but hold on. What do you mean it changed? Is it the same religion or not? And then they'll revert back to attacking the pre-modernist, non-modernist Catholic doctrine. I mean, it's astounding, especially when you read this book, and then you talk to a modernist. I mean, you'll see that the techniques of evading questions, and the pretending of belief in Catholic doctrine on a very superficial level is the exact same thing as the heretics that were, pardon my bluntness, but who were eliminated back in the Middle Ages. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just listen to these modernist heretics speak for yourself, and notice the fact that they will give lip service to Catholic doctrine or Catholic sacraments, but they will not go into depth. And if you meet them face to face, and you friendly question them about this stuff, you will notice the evasive techniques that they will use that I just described, and the ones that are described in this book that were used centuries ago by heretics. I mean, it's amazing. It's like, okay, again, we'll go back. Again, I'll go back to baptism. Yeah, they'll say, yeah, get baptized, wash away the stain of original sin. But then if you say, okay, why? Are you saying that if a person doesn't get baptized, they're not going to get into heaven? And then that's when they're going to get real vague, and you'll see that basically what it comes down to is that they don't believe in the sacrament of baptism at all. Because when you ask a non-heretic, they will tell you that, yes, if you don't get baptized, you're not getting into heaven. You might not go to the hell of torment and fire and all that, but you're not getting into heaven if you don't get baptized. You're not. But they're not going to say that to you because they're modernist heretics. I mean, getting into heaven isn't anything God owes us. And in fact, the fact that Jesus came down as the only worthy sacrifice, that he went through all that torture and torment, so that some people who not only believe in him, but that then are also prove themselves worthy by obeying his commands and being a good Christian, can maybe get into heaven. Prior to Jesus coming, nobody went to heaven. And again, Jesus himself said, that his blood was shed for, when he said to his apostles, for you and for many, multis. That's the Latin word, multis. And it was Pope Benedict XVI who forced the vernacular Novus Ordo priests to use that proper form in the sacrament by saying many and not all. Because Jesus never said for you and for all. He said for you and for many. Because not all go to heaven. You don't just go straight to heaven. I mean, if you did, again, but see, that's why, nobody goes to church anymore, and nobody takes anything serious. They figure, why get up early on Sunday? I'm going straight to heaven anyway. That's what the priest told me last week. It's ridiculous. But Pope Benedict XVI, at least he put a stop to it in the words of when they did the form of the sacrament, the consecration of the Eucharist, in the vernacular, and in particular in English, he mandated, and that's still in effect till today, in the Novus Ordo Missae, that when they say the consecration, that the priest has to say for you and for many, not you and for all. Because not all go straight to heaven. You could go out and do what you want. You could go out and, kill 20 people, as long as you don't get caught, it don't matter. You're going straight to heaven. Because all of a sudden the modernists say there is no hell anymore. That'd be just like how would things be in society if all of a sudden, they said there are no prisons anymore. Prison doesn't exist anymore. There are no more prisons. How do you think would happen? What do you think would happen? Total fucking anarchy, right? Well, it's the same with the church. When you got modernist heretics saying that everybody goes straight to heaven, what do you think? You think they're going to get up on Sunday? Why get up on Sunday? I'm going straight to heaven. I don't have to do shit. I can do whatever I want. I'm not going to hell. I'm going straight to heaven. Or you'll be just like, again, like if the government said there are no more prisons. No, fuck it, I'm going to do what I want. That's how fucking insane it is. But again, this is the reason why there was the Inquisition many years ago, to prevent this anarchy that would logically, whether it be spiritual or civil anarchy, that would be the result of heretics running stuff. And again, when I say heretics, these are very bad people. I'm not talking about like, your mainstream Protestants who are, yes, technically heretics, but they've been around for hundreds of years and they're established. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these fucking infiltrators who infiltrate the church and then preach this ludicrous nonsense. And it was the Inquisition that when they were found out doing this, were questioned and were told to cut the shit. And if they didn't, yes, they were burned alive to deter others from infiltrating the church and promoting this shit from the pulpit. Like, yeah, I believe in this and this and this, but it doesn't mean anything. Yes, you should obey God, but if you don't, you're still going straight to heaven. That is heretical bullshit. On its face. I shouldn't even have to explain this. But again, the purpose of this video is to show what the reason was for the Inquisition. and to see what's happening today. Just listen to the, especially the, there's some of the lower level priests. They're pretty good. Some of them are pretty good, but when you listen to most of the higher ups, they're preaching outright heresy. And again, like I said, they'll give, lip service to, yeah, I believe in this, and of course we still believe in this, and this. But if you press them, basically what the conclusion you're gonna come to is that no, they don't believe in it at all, because there are no consequences if you don't adhere to the sacraments or to the doctrine. They'll just tell you, okay, you're going straight to heaven. The Jew over there, he's going straight to heaven. The Muslim's going straight to heaven. The Hindu's going straight to heaven. So that's why you say, fuck it. Why should I get up on Sunday? I'm going straight to heaven anyway. I'm Jason Barron. Have a wonderful day. I'll speak to you again soon.